Chances are, if you're watching this video, you probably got the link from a proposal that we're working on with you, or maybe a project planning document, and you're trying to get a better understanding of what makes SalesGym different and what our approach is. And I'm going to walk you through in this and the rest of the videos in this playlist what it is that really makes SalesGym different. The first part I want to talk about is just the difference between typical analytical kind of process flow oriented training and SalesGym training, which is really skills based and more importantly, practice drills based. Over the last 20 years, sales training has become a lot more analytical and process driven. This is largely because of the influence of technology and companies wanting to drive the cost of training down and bring technology into the equation. And much of this is very effective and needed. Sales is a strategic science to some extent of how to develop accounts, how to work with different influencers and decision makers, what's the cycle and the process and how does that interact with our CRM system. And all of that lends itself to that kind of analytic process driven learning style. The problem is that style of training has minimal impact on what salespeople say and do on actual sales calls. We've done a lot of research on this, interviewed hundreds of sales executives, and measured salespeople coming into our training programs and observing them on live sales calls. And they make four basic mistakes. They talk too much on sales calls. They can't ask the right questions. Their value proposition just doesn't have much impact. And they can't manage the process so there's time to close, or they're effective at closing at the end of the call. Those four mistakes are chronic problems, and they require a completely different approach. At SalesGym, our entire approach is designed to break those four habits and teach people to sell the way top performers do by applying a proven sales process that combines both consultative and challenger methods, gets them out of that bad habit of using too many closed-ended questions, trains them on how to ask better questions and be more patient and listen. They learn how to present their solutions in a more concise and effective way, and they learn how to really bring objections out earlier in the process. So by the time they get to the closing part of the sale, it's much more effective and a lot less stressful and a lot less pressure for the decision makers. So the SalesGym approach is really designed around developing what we call verbal sales fluency. It's the ability to communicate well under pressure on live sales calls. It's the ability to communicate a value proposition and differentiating factors and insights that tee up great questions. The problem isn't not knowing what to do, because most salespeople do know what to do. They've heard that you're supposed to ask good questions and listen and, 2 ears and 1 mouth and all that kind of stuff. But when they get on sales calls, they just start talking too much. The SalesGym drills-based approach gives them the training to get better verbally under pressure, and that makes all the difference in the world. So the first thing to understand about what makes SalesGym training different is it's more drills-based. The salespeople learn the way athletes do, by going through practice drills that gradually build up their skills, break bad habits, and build that foundational verbal sales fluency that shows up under pressure and generates better results on sales calls. That's the first key to what makes SalesGym training different from more traditional sales training that's out there.